It's Tuesday.
Can't believe it.
Is it spring in your neck of the woods yet?
It is. It's very warm.
My snow pile is almost melted in my front yard from, all the clearing of the driveway all goes to the same spot. So it makes this huge pile. It's about gone. Mary Jean is there. Hello, Mary Jean.
Welcome. Mary Jean.
So we call this cookie therapy. And we try to offer a little bit of light in this crazy time we're enduring, all of us.
Hey, Kathy.
Hello, hello. What's up?
Wow, he's early.
Well, we're late technically.
I guess that's true. Hey, Allison.
Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. So sorry for the delay today. I went and got fitted for a mouth guard. I'm literally brushing my teeth. They're splitting in half, so I needed to go get a mouth guard. So that was loads of fun. Expandable foam in your mouth. It's like very, very. Oh, hello, Sally. Hello, Carol.
We've got Susan from the UK too, and Hawaii is here.
Hawaii. Oh gosh, what I'd pay to be in Hawaii. Oh, aloha. That's great. Hello, Han. Hello, hello.
Hey, Han.
Well, welcome everyone. So, got some fun stuff today. I was busy yesterday designing, so I tried to prepare something.
Did you really, Jane?
Oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised that I would. I pulled a muscle in my cheek from the just the strip, like
stress of it.
So much. And then he says, hello, Andrea. He says to me, the dentist, he says, try to relax, try not be stressed out. I'm like, you don't understand. I got no stress. I don't know what's, I did my cookies for a living. I'm not stressed out.
I don't know what's happening. Oh.
Hello, hello, Jeremy. So today we're going to do some spring, right? Are you also working on flowers?
I am. I'm doing my last set of my Easter samples for my sales in the store. So I'm doing florals on an egg design in a really pretty Wedgewood blue and white classic pattern. So I think it'd be fun.
So those of you that don't know Amy has an actual storefront. Of course, altered situation due to the COVID situation there, but she shares a lot of handy stuff with regards to more of like a business aspect. I try to be productive in my tutorial thinking, that I understand that, we need to get the stuff cranked out to be making money. Something's really drawn out. It's not as, it hurts your profit. If you're busy working on one cookie as opposed to 10, well, that's not as much money in your pockets, right?
Yes.
So at any point, you can rewatch the lives. Once they're done, they get saved and you can rewatch them. You can watch the weeks before. So just a quick thing I wanted to mention this week. So the stars are a virtual tip jar, and thank you to everyone who sent the stars last week. I am kicking off something new this week that I discovered via another content creator. And so I'm going to share that with you today. So stars are wonderful. Facebook has that, but they take a pretty significant chunk. They take like 40% of your donations. And that, is a lot of money, 40%. So I found this here. It's called Ko-fi or coffee. I'm not sure, but it's a switch on buying a coffee, right? And so this platform, 100% goes in our pocket. So I created an account on Ko-fi, whatever. But the twist there is that the day's template will be there. So with your donation, if you go to the shop part, and if you want, you can just make a one-time, just the donation. But if you go to the shop part, you can buy the day's tutorial for $2. And then once the live stream's done, I'm going to jack the price up to what I see fit there. But like today, it's a stencil, it's the pansy. And so I have all the previous live templates there. And if you want to go check out the Ko-fi.com Montreal Confections, 100% of your donations goes in my pocket, which I really appreciate and helps me make the videos and pay for the expenses, just the streaming software and all that. So I
Do
just
you think it's actually coffee because they're saying buy the artist a cup of coffee? Do you think?
I don't know.
I'll find it. I'll Google it. I'll Google it later.
For everyone that you know is in my groups and donates, thank you very much. I
Yes.
very much appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you. So
Yeah.
now let's get started with today's tutorial.
Let's do the camera dance, and I'll do comments.
Camera dance. Here, is it this one? This one?
No.
Add to screen. There we go. The camera dance. So I thought Easter egg spring. Here it is. And
So pretty, Mar.
Wanted to tie in something though that could be with Mother's Day coming up, right?
Yes.
You put this pattern on anything. So here's the drawing, the beginnings of it. So painting on cookies is so popular, and it's wonderful. Painting is a fantastic craft, but it's long. And if you have a lot of cookies to make, you know, it's just something that's a little bit kind of drawn, like it's long. And so just like an artist, a painter, I see them all on Instagram and all these things. Well, if you're selling one canvas, you can't make as much money as those that make the giclées, where they scan the painting and sell the prints, right?
Right.
This is essentially, you can still be creative. You can draw your art, make stencils, and airbrush. So that's basically what I've done here. I've created a layered stencil where I'm able to airbrush each shade of color. And I mean, these are just some of my airbrush colors. Airbrush colors come in a huge variety of different shades of the same color. Airbrush is much more tricky to blend and
Look
mix.
at all those blues, Mar.
Yes. Well, when you're mixing icing, you're putting it in the bowl and you can kind of adjust, add a little touch of this or that. But these colors, when they're concentrated the way that they are, they look black. And so you can't even see,
right?
You can layer it on the cookie. So you put a little yellow, then you put a little bit of blue, but it's tricky. This way you put that in your airbrush and the color that's on the cap is what you're getting. So that's how I work.
Mar, are you aware of any issues with YouTube last week? Somebody was watching through YouTube and posting, and we didn't see.
I have no idea.
We're seeing you today, though, Jennifer.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. And so this is how. Whoops, I'm at the wrong thing. So this is how I work. So those are my airbrush guns. I use wireless airbrush guns just for the ease. I don't have a bunch. Imagine if I had 5 plug-in airbrushes right there. I have 5 cords, 5 electrical outlets I'd need. I mean, this would be a mess. Mind you, you cannot get those things like quick release where you switch out your airbrush gun, but this is how I like to work. If you look at my Facebook shop, I've got the center black one there, or the one on the end, the black one listed. I mean, they're $40 to $50. I bought mine on AliExpress. I got like the 3 that are the same shape from the guy. I try to get the actual like compressor in different colors, so I kind of know what I'm grabbing when I reach for it.
Mar, when you're done, you're going to need a rainbow set so you can just use the appropriate base with your color.
Well, I'm thinking I might like I put some colored tape on them if I get this, you know what I mean? Just so I can know the difference. But this is how I like to work, because if I'm switching out, working with layered stencils, well, if every time I want to go from the purple to the green or another shade of purple, I have to wash it out, well, I'm wasting my product. I'm literally pouring it down the drain. So this way I can work with, you know, all my different colors like you would when you're painting with your markers or whatever. It's more kind of like that. And I mean,
Mar, where's the back of all your airbrush guns?
I take them off because if you have clogging and you need to pull the needle back, which happens, you know, relatively often, it's a hassle. And so I just don't have them on so I can access the needle at all times. Here's a little trick for you. If you airbrush in luster powders and these types of things, if you have your needle exposed like that, well, the clogging, sometimes you just pull it back a little bit, the needle, and your clog will release. So I work like this. Always like that.
I love it.
I don't bother with that part. So do we have any comments here?
I think you're caught up. This is the last one. It just popped up.
Okay. So here is just to show you the cookie. So when I'm doing a live stream, I'm not using icing just because I need the icing to be dry to be able to work. So this is what I did before. So we're going to do two versions. We'll have one that's completely floral. And then I did one where you have half the cookie, which is the one that's on my table here. So I did like a section in white, let that dry. And then I'm able to, here you can see I'm able to airbrush the floral. And then I can fill here the purple, and I don't have to worry about overspray. Overspray is when the spray goes over where you don't want it to go. So if you don't want color on something, the best way to guarantee that happening is not even to have it there. So the overspray was on the cookie, and then I covered it with this purple icing. Here you can see, you just fill in that section. Here's another little tip. I actually, when I'm doing, I want to have a color match and be sure, because there is maybe a formula difference in gel versus airbrush color. I use the airbrush color to color my icing.
I do that sometimes too. I can't believe the level of detail you got with that stencil. That looks like it's hand drawn.
Well, that was the point. I wanted it to look like that, and maybe later I'll spray it with the alcohol to see if it will look painted more. You know, like you could probably come in with a paintbrush, and like maybe you can at least do your base layer, and then if you like to paint, come in and do your finishing details. You know what I mean? Like do some portion of it with a stencil and your airbrush, and then come in and do the finishing touches.
So beautiful.
And so we're going to airbrush. So here, let me switch out my cookies. So we'll do a full one first.
Now, guys, pay close attention because we're both airbrushing today, and this is the professional demo.
Oh.
Who knows what will happen in mine?
I don't know about that. So here's the cookie. Now, I did my prototype stencil with cardstock. Now, cardstock is just fine. This is 110-pound cardstock. The thing, though, that gets tricky with the cardstock is you can't see through it, right? So it does a little tricky with regards to placement. You want to try to do the airbrushing. Well, I think I have a video with a cat. If you look for the video with Marie the cat, that was a good one. A few live streams back. And so this one here, if you look, like all these pieces puzzled together. So even though it's not transparent, I was able to like look, you know, I knocked it over, and I did manage to make it work. So you can make it work with the cardstock, but I cut the transparent.
I gotcha.
So the trickiest part of working in layered stencils, especially something that's a little bit random like this, where it's like I toss the flowers all over the place, you know, there's not like a geometric like pattern to align everything. It's aligning. That's where you're kind of like, you know, trying to place stuff. So
are you selling all the pieces to that stencil today with the donation and coffee?
Yeah, that's $2 on the Ko-fi link if you coffee, whatever. Coffee.
I'll Google it. We'll know next week, you guys. That's a deal. That is if you were ordering that stencil from a stencil company, Mar, that would be super expensive to get that many layers.
Yes. And this way, when you cut them yourself, you are able to, you know, really customize it to your specifications, what you want. Maybe you only want one flower, maybe you want it big. So here, if you can see very faintly, I scored the petal, and then I cut the leaves. And so by scoring that section, I'm able to kind of see where it needs to align. Do you see? So you can score the whole design, like repeat the whole, like layer the whole design, score it, and then cut your parts on certain ones. Does that make sense, Amy?
Yes, absolutely. For lining it up. And you can see it well on camera too. A certain angle there where you tilted it, you can see it. And Mary Jean, I believe, yes, it's going to be in the cookie school also.
Yeah, yes, I didn't have time yet to add it to Patreon. It is already in the cookie school. I'm going to add it to Patreon after. Just I ran back from the dentist and I didn't have time. So another thing you maybe want to do here, where's my camera, is put some sort of a geometric shape so that you can kind of like,
you know which way it's supposed to be turned.
Well, what's the top and what's the bottom? That'll make your life a little bit easier. Okay.
I love it. Did you put a big M? We should have all of your stencils with an M.
I put a triangle. So another thing I want to talk about is the stencil plastic, because that's something a lot of people have trouble with, is the stencil plastic. I do have the one that I prefer in my Facebook shop there. I have the link to the Amazon. And so when you're cutting, I use a silhouette.
Look, Mar, someone sent me coffee.
Oh,
it must be coffee. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you very much. That's very nice. So the thing is, now that threw me off.
Sorry,
okay,
I'm sorry.
The stencil plastic, no problem. Doesn't take much. So the stencil plastic, a lot of people have problems with that, especially with the really detailed stencils like this here. If I put it in the light. And so I use a thinner plastic. Now, 0.007 is everything I've always seen people recommending, and it's very good. It's fine. The thing is you're going to have to pass the blade over 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times for it to cut through, depending on if your blade is not brand spanking new. So by using 0.004, the plastic is thinner. It's maybe not a thickness where you'd want to be selling your stencils, but it's certainly good enough to work in your for
and
your.
And you can print your own, right? You can print another one if you rip it.
Seriously, I don't rip my stencils. You know when I rip my stencils? When I'm taking them off the mat. If my mat is very new and sticky, and a stencil maybe like this particular one, for example, where it's only one part holding it, you see?
Yes.
This might rip. But generally, this plastic doesn't rip.
Mar, this may be the stencil that gets me to break out my Cricut. I'm just saying, this may be it. This is gorgeous.
I opted years ago to buy a silhouette. Some people prefer Cricut. There was a little drama with Cricut.
Recently, right? Big drama.
So I don't know. I mean, that might.
It's at the top, right, Mar? So they can support today's video.
I put it at the top of the Facebook, but here we can put it in the comments here. I'll type mine and
Scotland. Mar, we got Scotland in the house today.
Oh, hello, hello.
How fun. Thank you for watching. Oh, and somebody just did your donation stencil.
Well, thank you.
You guys, please let us know, if not now, but later, let us know if it works really easily for you, because it's brand new.
Yeah, I just started, and there's actually a link supposedly there that I could pop it in and I could see it in the feed here when you guys actually go on there. But like I said, I just opened it and I wanted to kind of like, I appreciate your donations and I want to show you the appreciation that way. Like Amy also just launched. In the future, she'll maybe have some good stuff for you guys, you know, just kind of kicking this off. And so this is the new kind of
something so you can download something every week. I'll be ready for you guys next week.
Yeah. So now these are the colors I'm using. So if you Google pansies, I mean, pansies are one of my favorite flowers. They come in so many beautiful colors. So I'm using 2 shades of purple. This is electric purple and this is a violet. I have to say, I don't love it. This is, if you're looking for purples, I would more go for Chef Master. I don't love the Americolor purples. I find that they're really gray toned. But that's my personal opinion. And then this is Rainbow Dust. This isn't the green I wanted. I'll do 2 shades of it because this is very close to this one. I wanted 2 shades. So this is leaf green and this is holly green. I had a lighter green before.
Hey, have you ever tried succulent green?
No, I have moss green here. Maybe I'll use that. It's just for contrast so that when you're airbrushing and you're coming in with the vein part, well, you don't want everything to be the same color, right? I'm starting off here. If you look at the design here, let's put the picture up. If you look at the design here, I did the outer perimeter of the, so there I'll talk in 2 layers of the flower, right? So the top kind of petals and then the bottom ones. The top ones in this particular version, I'm not going to be doing the purple that's around the yellow there. I'm just going to do the outer rim. And so you can opt to kind of airbrush the way you want. That's another layer. So today I'm not using that particular layer, if that makes sense. I'm just going to be using this outer kind of part. So I'm going to do that in electric purple.
Hello, South Africa. Thank you for joining us.
So when you put your drops of airbrush in the gun, you need like 1 or 2. You really don't need a lot. to get your color, right? The other thing I like about a wireless airbrush is it doesn't make a huge racket. I find the other ones make so much noise. And now you see I'm just like, just a portion of this design is fitting on the egg. There. I'm just going to do the other one right away. So you can see there, that's my outer petals for the top portion of the flower, okay?
I hope y'all can't hear that phone. Can you hear it? I'm sorry.
I'm going to actually use this.
I love that. That shows really good on camera.
So this is the other without the border. This is the full kind of version of it. I don't know if I put it the right way, but this is my cardstock. I didn't cut this one in plastic, so I'm not going to do that one. So this one here, actually, now without a stencil, I'm just going to lightly add to the middle. So I know where the middle of the flower is. It's here. So I'm just adding a little touch of fade. I don't need it on the others because it's sticking out. So that's it. Okay. Done for that. Let's move that one aside. And now I'm jumping to.
Now, Mara, is it okay? I'm just randomly putting that link back up for both of us for the coffee stuff.
Sure.
All right. Is there anything else I should be showing right now?
Well, my brain is, I'm trying to find
It's so
one of
beautiful.
the layers that.
That's going to be me in a few minutes. I'm not going to remember what I'm doing.
Well, I'll use the cardstock one. I can't, and am I, you see, you can kind of see where to position it, right?
You know that once you cut that piece, that also would be great for Halloween for bats.
Oh, yeah.
That part. I'm totally into finding multiple uses for the things that we all have, right?
And I knew I was going to get messed up in my order once I started this thing, because this is not something, honestly, I should be doing on a live. One of these things where you're like, what part am I at now?
Well, wait, you'll feel better in a few minutes once I attempt to airbrush live. I've never done that before. It'll be a new thing today.
This is like usually when I'm doing this type of stuff, it's like, at least with a video, I can edit out my bloopers. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually airbrushing right at the edge where the other petals go to make it look like, in the darker purple, like those petals are casting a shadow on the those under petals. So the top petals are casting a little shadow. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yes, it looks great.
So it's casting a little shadow on there. So that's that.
See, Debbie thought they were bats too, Mar. It wasn't just my visual brain going crazy.
Now, am I going to be able to find the placement for this? Because the other one, am I going to get lucky?
Yes, that's it.
Oh. So it is trickier to work with this, you know, when you can't see.
Mm-hmm. That looks so good, though. It shows up really good on that cardstock for doing the video.
Oh, yeah, but you can't see what's happening underneath. But and then I'll finish off the petals with the other purple. And I don't know if you can see, like, it's very gray, you know. It looks almost black, that purple. I don't love it, but
it's a good Halloween purple, like when you're doing purple, black, and that green.
Yeah. It's not very springy. So there it is. So that's that. And now
gorgeous, Mar.
my final. Now I have to find the.
Did Jeremy leave us? Did Jeremy and Han leave? Haven't seen any comments in a bit.
And now I'm trying to again.
Oh, is that it?
God. Is this no. Okay, I need a moment just in my own head to kind of figure this out. Sorry, everyone. I'm not. Oh, I found it.
Awesome.
So now I'm just placing that, and I actually should lock this in so that I can kind of hold it into position.
Jeremy's been watching you fast speed on YouTube to get caught up.
Oh, so here is see the outer line. So now I'm coming in, and you can do whatever you want for the finishing lines. I'm working in the darker purple, and you can go really light, or you can go really, like, make it look almost like it was stamped with a, you know, an ink stamp.
This is just crazy beautiful, Mar. This is, we all really love this.
Well, I'm so glad.
And it's pansies, so it's springtime and it's bright.
Whoops. There they are. Okay, now here you can see a little bit of the white there. You can come in with your airbrush and, you know, kind of touch that up. But the point here I want to show you now. So I airbrushed part of this on wafer paper. So you can come in, you see, and add the second part of the thing. And then add these.
So you'll have some dimension.
You're creating some dimension. And if you ordered the wafer paper and you have 500 sheets you don't know what to do with, so you can just secure them, you see, and then they're a little bit up.
Oh, I love it. The relief from that. That's so beautiful.
When the
case, you're ticking the boxes for me with the wafer paper.
You see here, like that. You're getting like a little bit of a different kind of.
That is gorgeous. I love it where it goes off the cookie. And Allison, she does it. The ones that she put in her shop for you guys, they have a corner. They have a triangle in the corner for alignment.
Here, let me again. I need my quiet time to figure this out.
And Jeremy is saying that he's going to pretend you did this just for him because he loves pansies.
Oh yes.
That's for the flower. I do too. They're so we can only keep them alive here in the early spring and in the late fall. They don't make it around here in the summer.
Well, I find that they grow everywhere. Like that's what like I got dirt, and next thing you know, pansies are growing in the dirt that I bought, because I guess they were there. And just what a nice surprise to have that in my dirt pile,
And Mar, you cut that wafer paper on your silhouette, right?
No, I cut it with scissors.
Oh, you did? Okay, so she airbrushed it on the wafer paper and then hand cut it, you guys.
And then hand cut it. And again, like you can, do just create a stencil just for that kind of portion of the flower,
Mar, they love this. There's like 15. I love this. This is beautiful.
And so now the leaves. So let's jump to the leaves. Now, I think it's nice just like this, but if you want to do the leaves.
I agree. Jeremy's going to want sunflowers next. That would be the next one I would want to.
Be a fall video, I think. No?
Yeah, no, don't make us wait that long. Let's do it in the summer.
So let me see now again.
What a stencil, Mar. That stencil is stunning.
My brain again. I'm sorry, guys. This is a tough one for in a live situation.
I don't think she sprayed it to make it curl. I think Sharon, it just took a little dimension because she airbrushed it. So just that little bit of airbrush color was probably enough to make the paper crinkle a little, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this is where like I don't even know if I'm at the right. Like if the stencil is, I think.
It is stunning, isn't it, Cheryl? This is beautiful.
I'm seeing it now. All right. There it is.
Don't move it.
No, that's not it. That's not it. I see it there and there. But that's
for Mother's Day. We have time to practice this, you guys. These would be gorgeous Mother's Day cookies.
I feel like such a, almost like my pants are being pulled down. I'm sorry. I feel so exposed. I'm not used to not knowing what the heck I'm doing.
This is going to make the blooper reel, huh, Jeremy?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling a bit flustered right now because I can't see it.
I love it.
The stencil. I'm not sure if it's like, because just turning it upside down messes the design, and I'm not seeing the placement of my, what if I use this?
Hey, Susan, make sure you tell us how much you ended up spending with AliExpress.
Oh. Now I'm seeing something that I had done, and see this one, darn it, it didn't cut. So I had the middles on this.
Oh.
That's how I was aligning it before in the not live stream.
I gotcha.
So let's take the cardboard one. Maybe that will save the day. Do I have the other version of it?
Oh, Jeremy can see it, but he can't move it for you.
Oh, listen, guys. I think I'm going to give up. I'm so like, I feel so discombobulated right now. I have to tell you.
It looks great.
I feel completely,
I can't believe the stencil that everybody's going to get today if you do that coffee donation to Mars account. That is such an expensive stencil you created.
Well, mark it off for yourself. Like, you're going to have to create some markers. I'm going to edit it, I think, to make it a little bit kind of like, I really did it yesterday. So
is there any chance it's upside down? Jeremy's asking if it's
yes, of course there's a chance it's upside down. Absolutely there's a chance it's upside down. I think I'm about to give up though. Listen, guys, it works. It does. I'm flustered right now. I have my dentist appointment. Please be merciful with me today. I'll film it and do it better. But and then it's 32 minutes. It's Amy's turn. So
no, you're fine. You can take the whole hour. This is great.
Okay, so now we did the wafer paper version here. And
okay, I love that. I'm totally doing that for Mother's Day. Just expect to see it.
And then I've got the yellow icing here just to add a little, right, the little middle.
Karen, she made those. So she airbrushed on wafer paper, then hand cut them out just for some little detail. And then Mar, when you come back on in a minute where you're not focused on that stencil, they want you to go about the coffee thing again, how that works.
Okay. So here is, and the other thing too about coffee, which is
Sharon, you get a download, correct, Mar, for the stencil?
Download.
Yeah. Or so you either have to know somebody that can cut it out for you, or have a silhouette or a Cricut. Okay.
So the Facebook group doesn't allow me to put Silhouette Studio files, whereas the coffee does. So today's download actually has a Silhouette Studio file. I can't make Cricut files because I don't have a Cricut, but it does a Silhouette Studio. So that's what you'll get.
Well, I think people with Cricuts can use Silhouette Studio. I believe that was a big discussion last week.
Oh, yeah. So here is, you see the little middle, you can quickly add. So this one here is the complete whole floral. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the one just covered in flowers, or do you prefer the one with the purple?
You know what? I think if you were doing a set of these, you need them both. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, they look great together. I'm getting into things, sets where maybe I don't have to have 15 different styles of cookies, but each cookie within the shape, like use the same shape. I like that a lot. And I like sticking with I don't know, maybe 4 colors, not more than 4 colors on something.
Yeah, that's a way to keep it looking less busy. So
yeah,
airbrush, if you have your edge of cookie showing, you can get like a bit of overspray on that edge. So sometimes if you do, a quick way to hide that is to add like a border. So this is a 1.5 piping tip, and I'm using the yellow just to contrast against like the white that's right there, and it ties into the little middle on the flower.
Bead piping. So Mara, I have a question. How long is their deadline to order that stencil for donation? If they're not in the cookie store?
It'll be there. Just the price will go up after the live is over.
Okay, so if she's not where she can get it, it's going to go up to $5 in an hour, right?
Well, I mean, maybe I'll leave it till like 5 o'clock.
Okay, so maybe she'll leave it till 5 at the discount, and then it'll go up. But if you're in the cookie school, this is going to be in the cookie school. It's just not there yet.
It won't be a silhouette file. I just cannot.
Oh,
they don't allow.
Jeremy had a great idea. He said the partially covered gives options for names or logos or whatever. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I do like that idea too. Like you can write, do place cards,
Cool.
right? On your Easter dessert.
Yes. Wouldn't that be great for an Easter table to do the names on it? Love it. Lisa, yeah, definitely.
There it is with the little border. Okay. And then I'll just quickly show because, so here, and I thought I'll go look in the group, but I'll just quickly show here. I have a sheet full of different borders, and this is all royal icing. And you can see here, so at the end, you can see the tip. So it's a round tip. This is a open star and closed star. I think that's kind of like and you can see it's the same thing, just a different tip gives a different result. So they're all exactly 3 rows are the same.
And that's in the cookie school, right?
I have to double check. I made this a while ago. I think it is, but I'm not 1,000%.
Look, Karen said after last week, she's been staying away from AliExpress, but after last week, she needs a 12-step program now.
So this is a star tip, a closed star, a number 16. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to, and of course, was it sitting there like what, 10 minutes or 30 minutes? Okay. And when this is fine, like it's pretty clean, right? Like the line is pretty sharp. But if I do like when there's a little bit of icing there to tie the 2 kind of sections together. So it's really up to you. So what I'm going to just quickly demonstrate here is this border. It's a bit hard to
Sandy, if you give her a minute, she's going to tell you about the cookie school and about the coffee link.
So I'm starting to squeeze, and I'm going over to hide the beginning. You see, I'm swooping.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling down. And then I'm over here now on this side doing exactly the same thing, hiding the end of that one.
And Mara, that looks like it's super stiff icing.
It could be a little bit looser, I have to say, but it is quite stiff. Around and over, and you see I'm pulling, and when I'm pulling, I'm releasing pressure so that it tapers, and where it ends, I'm starting, you see, and then I'm hiding that.
I love it.
And so you can actually move quicker. It's just, you see, you're swirling.
Love it.
And then done.
So pretty.
And that kind of ties, like just finishes it off. I'm not going to like do another whole bead border around there, but you can kind of get around the edge, you see?
Love it. It looks beautiful.
Like that. And if you do purchase the stencil, when I edit it, I get your like I can message you with the coffee there after, and I'll message you with the new version, because I will tweak it with a little bit more of a guideline for when you cut it, you know, so that you can kind of set it, because I made it yesterday.
Yes, on the fly, you guys, she made that. That's like a $25 stencil there. Was that like 5 layers?
It is 5 layers, but you can go with, I think, like, you can do 3, I think. You can reduce it depending on the level, like, you know, the amount of colors you want to do.
Yeah.
And if you want, like, you could come in and paint
right
parts of it if you want to make it more your own, you know, like to do different versions of it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Here's the other version that we did. Here's the finished before that I did.
Several people have purchased it already, so I hope that's what the dinging is.
And here, let me bring this one in. And, you know, just to show them without the leaves, I mean, it's not a bad, without the leaves, I mean, it gives it a different look. You can still come in here. Do I have green?
I don't know, but you're about to do what I'm doing today. I can feel you going over into my direction.
So here, just to show quickly, you can just like lightly, you know, like another part that you could do is you could shield the flowers and use like a lacy stencil or something like that, you know. You can come in and like add. And then you could pipe the leaves, I guess. You know, there's different things you could do. I mean, that's the whole point of stencils. When you're cutting them yourself, you can tweak it so that you can envision, you know, put a bit of your own artistic twist to these things.
Awesome.
Done.
You're done? Are you done? Is that what you just said? You're done?
Done. I hope everybody liked it. Sorry if I kind of like choked there, but
no, you did it. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm gonna swap my cameras, like shrink me way down, if that's okay. Let's get me over here. Can you still see me? I'll move over here. I'll move over here and then come back to you guys.
To put you big. There you go.
Okay. Now look, I'm going to attempt to airbrush you guys, but please have some mercy on me because although I airbrush occasionally, I've never done it live. So if something goes wrong, you know, we'll just try to go with it.
Did you see during on Friday's live stream when I'm on with Amber and Han? Well, I wasn't there this week, but Han's mixer.
I saw it. I watched the whole thing.
One of the beaters fell out.
Yes. It's so great. I love that Han has such great reactions when those things happen. If that happens to me today, I promise I'll try to move along just as nicely as she did. All right, so look, guys, here's what we have. We're going to do a little bit of airbrushing. I'm going to show you something that would be good for, I know, Jeremy, it's tough. You see that? He said, don't follow Mara. It's a tough act. But she needed to talk to you all about the coffee today, so it had to happen. So what I did, I'm using the same shape as Mara. That was totally accidental. Mine are also iced. I'm not doing any icing today because it needed to be dry. I think that you're going to like what I'm doing. I think it's going to be interesting for you, but you know, we'll see. If not, go with Mars. It's totally okay. I do want to show you a couple of things though before we start. I do not have the little stencil holder. I have the big adjustable one. And the reason I have this stencil holder is because I attempted to do that champagne bottle from the cookie school, Mar. That's how I ended up with this one. Because I didn't have one yet, and I was real nervous about breaking out my air gun. I had bought the air gun you recommended. This was like 1.5 years ago, but you had that champagne bottle, and I really wanted to try it. So this is the one I ended up getting, and I think I got it at one of the larger Michaels, and I used that 40% off coupon, so it was totally affordable.
Yes.
So it was good. So I pulled a couple
stencil for wonky shapes, like because the other one is very, you know, it's like it better be fitting inside this, you know, the square. And if you have a tall cookie or whatever, right?
So the first thing I did today, I picked out several stencils. I'm going to show you what these look like because I just want you to think a little bit outside the box for what you could do with this. So I pulled this real cool one that's writing. Okay.
That one.
And then I pulled a rose one because I want you to see the dimension, right? We're going to add some royal icing transfers that are already done. But in my mind, when I created this, what I was trying to do was create something that, that you could do fast. You could have a lot of stuff prepped. So you could do this fast if you wanted to. So what we're going to start with, and I did charge my cordless airbrush gun. This is the one that I have. I love it. This is on Mars list.
Can I just add these stencil, the airbrush there, if you look on Amazon or on AliExpress, do not buy the one that is painted black. The gun painted black. It's not that it doesn't work and all that. It's just very difficult to see the pigment inside the cup when it's painted black.
Yeah, so like this, I'm gonna airbrush with some Americolor Wedgewood blue. You would not be able to see this in the black gun.
It's just, you know, sometimes if you do opt for multiple guns and you want to be able to at least look in and kind of guess, but if it's jet black, you're never going to be able to. I threw away the guns. I had a few and I couldn't use them.
Yeah, because you can't swap them, can you?
No. Well, the compressor, you can unscrew it, so you can just, if you get a new gun, you can still use your compressor.
Okay, here we go. Someone pray. So I'm going to be working in Wedgewood blue and white today. I kept it all in a really simple color pattern.
I love
it. Maybe I think I need to hold this though because it seems like it has a little.
That's a nice stencil. Jennifer, I'm sorry I don't sell the stencils because of the plastic that I use, and I'm not really equipped to be selling products. So I don't sell.
Look, Mar.
Beautiful. I love it. And that stencil is really nice. What is that stencil?
I thought someone might ask. It's actually a folk art crafting stencil. Oh,
Those are fine, honestly.
yeah, it's right as long as you don't add heat to them, you're not transferring any chemicals.
Exactly.
So
Beautiful. I remember seeing that one at Michael's actually.
Jeremy, so far nothing on my arm, but it could happen. So this was my first stencil. So I'm going to do all of my backgrounds real quick so we don't risk the air gun clomping up on me, right? So the next one we're going to do is this cool rose pattern, because I want you to think outside the box for layering to get like what Mar did with the wafer paper. And I cannot believe that I did not think about doing some wafer paper with this today, because you know, guys, I'm hooked on that. So here's my background for this one.
Well, you could totally make wafer paper roses and cut them out.
Yeah, I'm saying now, after I've watched your demo today, I'm totally going to be doing that. I'm going to spray the stencil on wafer paper. Look, yay.
Beautiful.
Already feel accomplished because I didn't smear it. So let's hope I don't smear the lettering, because it's quite beautiful. My sample cookies were quite beautiful. And I do like this holder. It's a little hard to use, like as far as getting the stencils in it and whatnot at your area when you're doing it, because it's so big, like to use it in your workspace. But it's a very nice holder. All right, so that's upside down. Let's try to keep the writing in the correct direction. And you guys, I'm using this big space to move it around to just get a nice pattern. So if you have not broken out your airbrush, this should encourage you to break out your airbrush. And just be thinking, when you're using your airbrush, the first thing when I started using mine, I just had to really make sure that I made myself stop and think through what all of my colors were going to look like together. Isn't that cute though, with that lettering?
Nice.
Has that total French Wedgewood blue and white vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm only going to airbrush 3 of these. All right.
Where did you get your airbrush? Did you get it on Amazon?
I ordered on Amazon right on that link that you gave me that time in the cookie school.
That's it. I have a shop on Facebook, Brianna, and that's where I list the kind of products that I use, and so it directs you to Amazon. But
no, guys, I only
on AliExpress as well.
Yeah, I would have ordered this on AliExpress, but when I got on there to get a bunch of extra ones, the shipping was very high. Okay, so I have one of those little airbrush pots, right, where you can put water in and then clean your gun out. And I only have 2 guns. So you guys, I always take the time to stop and run the liquid through it, like right when I'm using it. I don't want to wait a half an hour and then my gun be messed up for later. But I keep a trash can next to my work area, and I put a fresh bag in it every time I sit down to work. And then I just expel the extra liquid into the trash can, and I use my little spray bottle and pump into the cup. That way, because my sink is so far away from where I'm working. And that color, just in case anyone asks, it was this color. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, Wedgewood.
Okay. Yep, Wedgewood. I also thought about doing this because of what we were talking about last week with the rabbits, about using gray instead of black, so it wasn't so harsh. I did pull a mushroom gray, but then I decided just to stay in the Wedgewood blue and white for today.
The mushroom gray is very faint.
It would be, so that probably would have worked too.
Well, it just also, you know, when you're making cookies for an order, it's different here. Visually, it would have been tough maybe for the audience to see. Brianna, Cookie School and Facebook and Patreon, I mean, Facebook and Patreon are 2 separate platforms, but I load the same content. And now I had launched YouTube. So I'm loading the same content to all of the 3 membership groups.
All right, Mar, we're going to have a moment here because I forgot to do something and I have to go back and do it.
We'll have your moment.
Just give me a second, because this is something you really need to see. I have to add just a little bit more color because we forgot to do something. I want you to see this too, because it's really nice. Okay, I'm going to hold this in place though. Don't do this. This is not how you should do this at home. Actually, I can't. It's going to move. So let's do an easier one that I can swap out faster. I want to show you something, and you guys should already know what I forgot to do. You should already know, because you know I like shimmer and glimmer, right? So let's get this.
It would still be pretty if it was on the whole thing.
I know, but this looks so cool. I hope I can remember it. Here, Mar, this is for you. I'm not going to remember how I did this either. Just saying.
and if I can say though, just to mention, okay, now Amy forgot to put her glitter, and so what happens is the airbrush color dries, and so it sticks so much better when it's freshly applied because it's kind of like a bit, right? It's a bit wet, and so the glitter sticks. So she's managed to find the line, and so she's going to spray it, but you'll be more prone to like a bit of, I guess.
Yeah, look, I did it. I lined it up. I made it. And so I have blue diamond dust while it's wet. Wait till you see this.
So have you tried to use that without airbrush? Does it even color, or is it just?
Oh, it does. It gives you a faint blue.
Okay.
A faint blue and white. Look. Can you look at that? Isn't that amazing? Can you see it?
Beautiful.
Okay, so it was worth going back. Sorry to hold you up, but you have to see it. You have to see the difference of these things so that when you plan your sets, you're on it, right?
Beautiful.
So here we are. So already we have an egg shape. We have basic white royal icing. We're using the same color Wedgewood blue. I'm going to put a little water into my well here so this doesn't dry out on me, okay? We won't be airbrushing again though, so I think I'm good to go. So you can see already we've got a nice color scheme going, but we've got very different cookies, right? So remember a couple weeks ago, Mar, when we did the, they wanted to see that number 80 tip. So I showed them that 80 ruffle tip, that number 80.
You did all the icing there, all the flower, I mean.
Yeah, remember that? I'm going to show them one other thing before we move on, though. I really want them to see.
Mention then, if you guys want to watch that video, all the live streams are saved, so you can watch Amy. She did a whole bunch of royal icing flowers. Oh, that brush! I've seen that at the art store.
So this brush?
Yeah,
I love it. This is what I use to do denim and burlap. I don't know how great it's going to show up for you guys because I'm using Wedgewood blue, and normally I'm doing white.
Was the chicken, did he squish it?
Yes, it had a little moment in the oven. But it's all I had to work on today, so you guys just run with it. So do you see how that looks? So just another pattern, something you can do fast, but it looks like, stone wash denim. So that's kind of neat in your set if you want to have that look.
If you're making some bunnies for Easter, you could maybe put on some overalls on them and make them like that.
Yes, wouldn't they be so cute? Total Peter Rabbit looking. All right, let's do one more really quick. I am going to pull this out. I used this. No, we're not going to use that. Let's do this. Sorry. Let me just put straight airbrush
Where's
color
your dust from, Amy?
What is it?
Lolita wants to know where you're.
Isn't it? It's Sugar Art, right? Sugar Art is diamond dust. It's literally a diamond dust. But you guys, there's also a company out there called. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but it's called Bakel or Bakel. And they have beautiful dust too that I really like. So this is just a little of my Wedgewood blue airbrush color, okay? Because I just want to show you something that is so much fun. So I'm just going to quickly put this on here. I'm using straight airbrush color. I'm not using a gel that's watered down. I haven't added any Everclear. I'm just going to paint this on because I just want to show you something else for a different technique. Because again, these are things you can do fast. And that's what I want to show you, some things that you could maybe even still get together in time for Easter. Okay, so you see the finish there? You should see this workstation. If anything falls, it's going to be a hot mess today to clean up. All right, let me flip this up to protect my other cookies. This is a bottle of Everclear, and this is a technique I learned this year from someone else, and I wish I could remember her name. She was really great to share it with all of us, but I don't. Watch what happens. Do you see how it starts to pull away? And you get this super soft, you see the spritzy look? Can you see it? I can't tell if you can see it. It becomes total.
It's a bit hard to see. I'm gonna experiment on mine because I had wanted to spray mine.
It comes out. It goes total watercolor.
Here, I'm gonna put the camera in just to see because you're now making me curious. Here, let's go side to side. I'm gonna spray mine with some high proof alcohol. So here, let's see.
What's it doing? It just gives it this nice smooth.
Well, what it's doing in my case, it's really reducing the harshness
Of the lines.
airbrush lines, and it's giving it a much more, here, can you, now,
I can see it, yeah.
and it's like leaching up. You see it? It's like leaching up.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks like it's more hand painted that way.
Yeah.
Now,
But what happens when you do put the alcohol on, it takes it from shiny to matte. Like it does make it a bit matte.
Which I think will work with this set of cookies. So we've got 5 totally, this is not really an egg, just pretend it's a jelly bean that went awry or something. But we've got 5 really different looking eggs already, right? All right, so let's grab some. We're going to put all these on with white. So I'm just going to trim out the white bag. And then I've already made some flowers. So I broke out that ruffle tip that you guys like so much. And I want to show you a little trick, because this is something that you can start looking at things in your house differently. So I made this as a flat flower, but when it was wet, it was on parchment paper. I made it as a royal icing transfer. And then do you see how I gave it that curve? It was actually on a piece of parchment. And then I found something that I could put it on to make this stay upright so that it dried at an angle. So on one of my cookies, I'm going to add this nice flower, but it's going to be raised so it can be a really fancy piece of the cookie. And then I'll pipe leaves in from the back. And then you guys help me figure this out, how you want to see these. But I made, I like that one. Do you guys like that on there? I made some really pretty rosettes. I thought I'd use that one on here. And we're just going to be attaching these and then quickly adding some leaves. So how about this if we do a couple on here? Isn't that
what color are you doing your leaves?
I'm going to do them in a very pale mint green. That's the color I mixed up. And then I also made these little bits because I thought with this stencil, it would just be cute to add that relief to it. So you've got that nice background. I already piped this piece. That gives me lots of choices when I'm placing these together. And I did some other flowers too, like just some basics. I used some nonpareils in the center on some of them. I think this little guy, I'm going to leave him like that though. And maybe we need maybe one little accent. I don't know. I think actually we don't need a lot on any of these. I'm just going to put a couple side profile flowers and then add my stems. But I always try to place it to use what I already have made. I don't particularly like piping flowers right on the cookies because I just don't trust myself to do it. You know what I mean?
If you're a beginner, that is a good tip though, right? Because you can pick out your nicer ones if you're and you're making flowers.
And then you really have everything done ahead of time. So for me, I was trying to think, what could I do that I could give them some really fancy sets for Easter, but they wouldn't have to do all this the night they're making the cookies. So basically, you would have baked your cookies. You could have flooded and dried a night ahead, had your royal icing transfers made over a month ahead, right? And then you can go back and do what we're about to do. So we're going to.
Rebecca wants to know how you're going to package these. You put them in.
These will be in a cookie box. This would definitely be a more expensive set. So they're going to go into a cookie box. And when people see expensive cookies like this, they usually expect it to be more expensive because they're fancier. And so they want nicer packaging. And that's usually the time that I can get them to pay for that. And they're not worried about it. Right.
So what for the buds? What size piping tip did you use?
I used a 102 to do this and all the little buds. This and this were done with that 80 piping tip. This was also done with the 102. It's just a different style of flower. And you guys, I'm just attaching this with toothpaste consistency royal icing. Oops, I forgot to do something. See, this is what happens because you're talking live and you forget. So I have a hopefully this will work. Maybe not. I might have left it here too long. Give me just a second. I'm trying to see this too. It's a 1-point tip. Oh. I'll tell you what we're going to have to do, guys, because that dried up on me. I'm sorry.
Your icing dried?
Yeah, I tested this piping tip, the 1-point.
Oh,
and the icing dried. So what we're going to do is just switch bags real quick, because you need to think about this too. When you're doing this, you need to layer. So for instance, it's okay that my buds are attached, but what I want to try to do when I'm doing this, right, I want my stems, maybe I need a little wider hole. Hold on one sec. I want my stems to be underneath that last flower to hide that work.
yeah, yeah.
So this is probably, I probably just cut this to be equivalent to a 2-point, but I just want to put some very, very easy little stems here. And then the other thing I thought would look good with this color scheme was to go back while I had that tip, which we're now not using, but I generally don't use tips anyway. I would go back and just do one of those cute little pod plants, you know, just with some quick piping to give it just a little more.
I can make a suggestion, Amy. On another thing that would probably be very pretty is just a white nonpareil sprinkled on your green line.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have that. You want to try it? Let's try it. I have them right here.
It would look like kind of like baby's breath-ish.
You want it up near the part that I just did? Like that?
Yeah, that's nice.
I think that looks really pretty. And it's
you do it also just on a line, right? Just a straight line and then sprinkle the tops.
Yeah, let me see what that, let's see what that looks like.
Sprinkle with purple to make lavender.
Ooh, that would be pretty. So do you like that?
I think it's just.
And it's candy. I'm loving it. Loving it. All right, white piping bag. Let's put that flower back in place before we forget what we had there. Look at how dainty, you guys. Isn't that pretty?
Very nice.
So this is a nice fancy set. Everything done ahead, so you're just assembling it, right?
Yeah.
I think I caught all these. I'm not going to introduce another color to this because I think the simplicity of this cookie, it looks super fancy, right? But it's actually really simple to create, and it's quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Probably if I were doing this and for the set, I would have done diamond dust, because I think this is just killer. Look at,
beautiful.
isn't that beautiful? I am gonna go back and add some leaves.
I'm just going to make a suggestion for that first stencil, Amy. If you were to airbrush that in black on a piece of paper, that would make a great template so that you could pipe your royal icing transfer flowers and have them sized perfectly to add.
Wait, talk through that again. That's a great idea.
So you airbrush the stencil on a piece of paper that you find, let's say a floral stencil, and then that becomes your royal icing transfer template. So you can put parchment paper on that airbrush design on paper and then pipe your flowers whatever way you want.
Yes.
And then you'll be able to peel them off and then save them. When you airbrush your cookies, that using that same stencil, you can come in and pipe your perfectly shaped, sized royal icing flowers.
I love that. That is a great idea. Now, normally, you guys, I would just trim my bag to be a leaf tip on the end. But I've already cut this bag so you can see it, right? Because I wanted it to slide into that tip, right? So I'm going to cut this bag. Let me show you how to do this. Think about like a bird beak or a duck bill. We're just going to cut this. And normally I would not be doing this over a cookie, but I need you guys to see it. Hopefully I can find that little, oh, yeah, it's stuck to my scissors, so it's safe. So can you see this? Let's see. Let's look over this. Can you see how that bag is cut?
A little V.
Yep, little V in there. We're going to turn this bag, when we pipe our leaves this way, we're going to turn it as if you were looking at a chick, okay? So it's going to be turned, right? This is the sideways view. We're going to turn it like this so it looks like a bird actually chirping, right? Just think about a bird chirping for your angle.
So she's working royal icing, Jane.
So we're going to go right in here and just put 2 leaves behind this big guy. I love.
Push your cookie up on your work surface. Yeah. Yeah.
So look at that cookie though, you guys. Isn't that beautiful?
Well, I like the leaves look as ruffly as the flowers, so it's very nice.
I like ruffles and glitter. I'm going to leave this one alone. I think adding anything would take away from it. I do want to put one little leaf. Let's work right up here so you can see. I'm going to put either 1 or 2 little leaves for this one. They just need to be dainty, just something to accent the rose head. I hope you guys are liking this.
Very nice.
So do you see just using those 3 colors really though? Like what that looks like?
Your surface needs to focus. I don't know, at the bottom, you're blurry.
Let me pull this up again. You see, are we okay there?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to put a couple little bits up here. Now, one thing I do like when you make these little bud pieces, I actually really like to have it come up over the flower.
Yes.
You like that? I really like how that looks.
It looks more realistic.
So I just try to wrap mine like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to if you're too uncomfortable with piping that way, but I love that.
Well, you can actually do that step while the bud is on the parchment paper as you're making your transfers.
That would have been good, but I was so concerned about airbrushing live on camera that did not happen.
Well, I'm not saying your kids, I'm saying for those that are watching. So Joseph, happy birthday tomorrow.
Hi, Joseph.
Birthday.
Oh, and I think we need a 3rd leaf on this one. I think that'll finish this one off. And what do you think? Do I need anything on here? I'm thinking 1 down here at the bottom. There we go. Now we focus.
You can just, a couple of leaves. I always like to pair them, like put 2 leaves. That's usually my brain needs 2.
Do you like to pair them like that, but then come to the other side and add a single?
Yeah.
So you have 3?
Yes.
I find that I do that. And then I try to stop myself because my thought is to immediately go pipe another one, right?
You're like a clock.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, to stop. That looked great. Something simple like this. I think if you were doing a whole bunch of these, you really could just go crazy. But I really enjoyed this. And I thought how nice to just stay in that 3 colors, right? And
these are, if let's say it's Easter weekend is coming up next weekend, I think it is. So you'd have time if you wanted to do something like this project. You could make the flowers this weekend, kind of store them, and then bake your cookies during the week. And then you could put them together.
You could do your airbrushing ahead of time too, right?
The other thing this year, I don't know, everybody has their different restrictions. In Canada, we're not getting together for Easter. You could package these in a little box and deliver them. If we can't get together, sometimes a little sweet treat that you could deliver to your family or friends and let them know that you're thinking about them. This is, cookies are always so well received. People are always so happy to receive decorated cookies. And if maybe you're not getting together with family, this could be kind of something to keep you busy, keep your mind off the situation, and share some cookie therapy, right?
Absolutely. Bring a little joy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another kind of, they're just, right? It's just that people just love receiving cookies. Have you ever delivered cookies where you got a
No, where they said they didn't want them? No, that hasn't happened. Not yet.
So we're only 9 minutes over. So I don't think it's not too bad. And
I'm very proud of us
because I was 10 minutes over. So technically it's my fault.
I don't think they mind. It looks like most of them are still with us, huh?
So I'm getting the notifications. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who donated on the coffee app. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'll have the week to kind of prepare for next week. So I'll get something organized. I think we're going to stick to Easter next week.
Okay.
Such a nice holiday. It doesn't have to be overtly chicks and bunnies like today, right? Like today we were working on eggs, but everything that we demoed, I mean, everything Amy did could be done on a round, on a square, on a hexagon.
Right.
I love that type of style on a hexagon shape. A hexagon shape is one of those shapes that just, right, like is a little bit.
Yes. And plus when you put them out, how they fit together, this set would be perfect on that because it would have that complete look that I was going for to keep all the colors similar.
What kind of border would work? What do you mean, Debbie?
On this, I would do Amber's bead border on this, but I'm not going to attempt that live on camera. Just saying. It's not going to happen. Not today.
Kit is asking, or Vic, I'm not sure, Kit and Vic, what tip was that?
This one is the Russian, it's a Russian ruffle tip number 80. And if you go back a few, 2 weeks, Mar, I demoed that tip as part of my class.
Yeah.
Hexagons are the bestagons. You're right, Jeremy. Yeah, I think this for Mother's Day would be fantastic. And if you did it on hexagons so you could present it together in a box set where they fit together in the box, that would be gorgeous as well. You could add an MOM on 3 of them.
Bridal, Amy.
Yes.
All that bridal, perfect. So Cynthia's asking about Cookie School. So Cookie School is a paid monthly group where I load, like if you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, you see these super fast videos where you kind of just get a glimpse into what the process is. Well, in the Cookie School, all the tutorials are me speaking, explaining every step of the way, going through everything. You'll find the templates, the supply list, all that. And then, kind of support too if you have questions. So I have the Cookie School group on Facebook and I have it on Patreon, both, and I have it now on YouTube. All of them are the same. I load the same content on all of them. And yeah, so it's just basically virtual classes.
Will you show them your sprayed pansy cookie again, the one you spritzed with the Everclear?
Sure. Here.
You see this one, you guys? Mine ends up, this is a great one to do mountains, what I just showed you, and to do storm clouds.
So mine now is looking very, here, let me show the other one. Here, let me pull the camera away a little bit, just to show the one that wasn't sprayed and the one that was sprayed. So it looks really watercolored. So
yeah,
what you could do here, I'm going to grab it. You could now, because it's watercolored, you could spray it before you come in with that final purple one.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's when you spray. You spray before the finishing line, because I'm going to come in with the marker. And I think that if you spray before you add that finishing purple line, well, the colors will be blended, the background colors, and then you can come in and have like a more kind of defined, right? Am I making sense, Amy?
Yes, it makes sense. Perfect sense. Because you would have the detail in the last pass of the airbrush.
And it would fade the green to the purple, you see? Like it just would make it look a little bit more like it was actually painted.
So, Mar, I'm scrolling up through the comments. Somebody is asking us to post that coffee link again.
Okay.
So I'm trying to post them, but I don't see them both.
My marker is I actually talked about the markers. When did I talk about the markers? Was it?
I think it was 2 weeks ago when we did that. Yeah, there we go.
So there's my coffee. It's so it's coffee, whatever, KOF. Here, let me remove that comment so that we can see it.
Okay.
There. So there's the link. And so after the slash, Seriously Sweet for Amy's account.
But today, if you donate to mine, there's nothing there for you to get for free. But I will be doing something like Mar's doing, so that if you're live with us, you get a reward for watching live with us. Thanks,
Jeremy. I was I have to stop. There is a point, I think, that you can over decorate something. I think there is an art to stopping.
Yes.
The point was more just to show that the line was kind of blurred. So this marker is it's called Food Colors. I do have it listed in my on my Facebook shop where I put the Amazon links. It is there. It's a fine liner. It is the thinnest line of edible marker that I've seen on the market that's fully edible. It's a 0.3.
Hey, Mar, Allison just did a donation and got your file for the pansies. And Allison is in my local cookie group. So Allison, this is your favorite teacher's plea for you to just go ahead and cut her out of set 2. And there could be a cupcake reward in that for you. Just saying. Just bring that on by, because my Cricut is not out of the box yet.
So she's cutting it with a Cricut. Well, I didn't know.
It worked just fine. Yeah, she said they uploaded just fine. Oh, thank you for testing that, because it's good for people to know it works on both. Our Facebook page is, yes, she's Marlyn of Montreal Confections. And if you go there, then she's going to have a link on there to get you over to the Cookie School. Cookie School is fabulous, has a huge resource library in it. It's like $5 a month. It's a fabulous deal. And my Facebook page is Seriously Sweet on Davis Street.
Do we have the banners here? So here, let me look down here. So there's mine. Let's do a last roll call. There's Amy's. So it's just the difference. I put www and she put the HTTP there. That's the same thing. This is her website. Okay.
I don't even know where you're finding that. I'm so glad you're manning the controls.
And so, yeah, so, and I, if you go on Facebook, I have, so here, this is my, Montreal, so it's Marlyn of Montreal Confections, because I do have a Montreal, I just created the group so nobody else would take it, the Montreal Confections page. That's my cookie school. So yeah, I mean, listen, I have to tell you, at the end of the day, I don't like that we need to be on all these platforms. If I could, I'd be in one place, but that's not the nature of the world we live in. That's why I'm driving you all over the place. On Instagram, I have like this link tree in my bio where you can find stuff. Trust me, I know it's confusing, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shayna likes my craftiness. She said, and that's how you do that, Amy. That's because Allison is fantastic. She is one of my top students. So
Jeremy, you have a fan. Jennifer wants to know where she can find you.
Love it. I love it. Rachel, what's the question? Did you say the link will change if you fix it? Do you mean what she's putting up today the price will change at 5 o'clock? Is that right, Mar?
Yes.
Is that what you meant? Okay.
Yes, I'm going to just increase the price. Like this is like an introduction price. I'm going to lower the price during the live streams when I create stuff. So for the people who watch and are faithful like viewers and all that. So while you're watching, if it interests you and you want to kind of check it out. And I have all the last week's like that like the egg critters, and I added like the mushroom bunny that we did. I added those. So
Mar found this new platform and I really like it. So hopefully we're going to be able to get a lot of things in there for you.
Well, the thing is like I was saying, if you want to support us and donate, and then they take, almost half of the donation, it's kind of annoying, right?
Right. It is. This is more helpful because then we can just keep going, right? We can keep doing more and more things.
Exactly. Most important job. He's a dad.
Yes.
Perfect.
So Jeremy, how did I do following Mar? Just let me know I at least did okay. You would watch again. Well, I was very nervous about following her, just to tell you once we talked about what we were both doing. Hey, Amber.
Amber's here. So hello, Amber.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So while Amber's there, let me just mention, so I'm on Fridays with Amber in hand. So if you want to get more cookie decorating, you can join us on Friday at 1.
Yeah.
And no idea what's happening, but we'll be decorating live. I have no plan. I haven't thought about it, but.
Are you decorating Friday?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you decorating Friday?
If I'm not mistaken, I am. I think Amber might be off on Friday. So she's going to be, I think, let me double check.
Well, it doesn't matter. We'll all be there either way.
Oh, no, it's hands off.
Okay.
Me and Amber decorating on Friday. And yeah, so.
Well, that's cool. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, she has no idea either. We're just winging it. She'll look through her cookie pile and.
But we are going to stay Easter for another week, right? That's the plan.
I think so. I think
maybe florally Easter.
Yes, like woodland, springs.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be Easter eggs. It can be like maybe let's do like Easter Mother's Day.
Okay, sounds good.
Kind of a thing.
Sounds good. As long as I can work in glitter, I'll be happy.
Glitter. Disco themed.
One day I'll show you the tray, because what happened was I got white diamond dust and I was using it on Christmas ornaments on the light bulbs, and it just was so fabulous on those cookies at Christmas. So then I was like, oh, let me get every color, Someone gave me some money for Christmas, so that's what I bought with it. So I tried them out, but this actually, just so you guys know, this blue diamond dust on top of that Wedgewood blue, it does look different than when you do this same thing and put white diamond dust on it. It does actually show up different. So that part I did test. I can't believe I forgot to do it at first.
So Sandy, all the videos are loaded and saved there for you to watch at your convenience. The templates are there. Everything is there for you to just do it at your pace. Pick the ones, because there's so many projects. You don't have to do them all. You can kind of pick and choose. And sometimes maybe like the way that I make my lessons, it's more about like kind of technique and stuff so that you can take it and then do it your own way for your own project, right? April showers as a theme.
Lisa, you can find me on Facebook at Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. I'm on Instagram, Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. And every Tuesday with Mar at 1 normally. Today was just a rescheduled day. Thanks so many of you for coming over to the 2 o'clock time slot. But how much fun did we have today?
Well, I kind of had a little bit of a heart palpitation. So.
Well, I hope Han was watching so that she
can have a laugh
about that beater flying off on Friday, right?
I'm
nervous now. What's going to happen to me and Amber when we have a blooper reel moment live?
I was putting a puzzle together, you know.
That was really great.
Thank you, Lisa. So I'm glad everybody enjoyed it at my expense. But anyway.
When mine happens, you guys, it's going to be awful. The other night when I was doing a live, my bag did not explode as bad as Hannah's bag of icing the day the pink bag exploded. Mine just burst on the side and it was really thick toothpaste. So it was just like this big tube coming out. But as soon as it happened, I just started laughing uncontrollably because all I could think of was the day it happened to Han. And I was like, okay, this is why we have cookie therapy. We get a good laugh. Everyone feels better.
So Jennifer wants to know before we go, your diamond dust came from?
Sugar Art. And I believe they're out of Texas. So just look for Diamond Dust and Sugar Art. Yes, exactly. So Mimi took a class from me this weekend, Mar. She took the Bella Fairy class, which is online. It's still available. There's just not another live edition of it. It's pre-recorded now. But we were attaching our wands and she had an exaggerated size wand for her fairy. And when she flipped it up to show us, it hadn't set up. So the wand just jumped off.
Say la vie.
But you know, it happens. She fixed it. It looked perfect.
Not sure what your purchase was, but
I think she just purchased your the coffee thing.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you very much. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Now we're 23 minutes.
It's okay.
But everybody, there was a few comments saying how good your Bella class, Bella Fairy. She named her cookies.
Amber, I know I'm knocking on wood because I'm just worried what's going to happen when it happens to me, because what you all don't see is that happens every time I sit down to do a couple dozen cookies. Something always happens. Yeah, glitter explosion has happened.
Thank you very much, Susan.
Bye, guys.
So bye, everybody. We'll catch you. Well, I'll be on Friday and then next week on Tuesday with Amy. So
all right, we'll see you guys Friday.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.